Colombian Institute of Family Welfare, through its mobile team of comprehensive protection, conducted recreational activities with young people on the island in commemoration of the World Day Against Child Labor.
As part of the commemoration of the World Day Against Child Labor and with the objective of contributing to the development of children and adolescents, the ICBF conducted a series of activities on the island.
The Colombian Family Welfare Institute took its institutional offer with entertainment and recreational activities to the educational institution Flowers Hill in San Andres. During the activity called 1 Hour Against Child Labor, 161 students benefited and received guidance from the mobile team of Integral Protection MP. These strategies and interventions are also strengthened by the active searches that MP professionals carry out in commercial areas, gas stations, and tourist sites of the island with the support of other entities belonging to CFD.
The ICBF's National Hotline 141 is available 24 hours a day to report any situation that threatens the integrity and life of the country's children and adolescents.
During search and control activities at different points of the island, such as the Gustavo Rojas Pinilla Airport, the authorities managed to capture several people for different crimes. One of the most notable being is drug trafficking.
During the weekend, the National Police captured and seized at the Gustavo Rojas Pinilla Airport a 29-year-old woman who was trying to enter the island with 2,843 grams of marijuana camouflaged in deodorant jars and energy stabilizers. Likewise, a 23-year-old man from the island was also captured and 2,728 narcotics were found in his hand luggage. On the other hand, the authorities conducted a search and control procedure, achieving the capture in flagrante delicto of a man for the crime of trafficking, manufacturing, or possessing of narcotics, in his residence substances with characteristics similar to marijuana, a measuring device and elements for weighing. It is worth noting that the captured person has judicial annotations as a suspect for the crime of homicide and illegal possession of firearms. For the crime of grand theft was captured in the downtown area of the island a 49-year-old man who moments before had stolen a cell phone, a brand iPhone 11 valued at $2,500,000. The captured person was placed at the disposal of the competent authority who was determined to dictate intramural security measures. It should be noted that the National Police are calling on the community to report any illegal activity.
And the Minister of Health and Social Protection explained that the group of experts and the Vaccine Advisory Committee recommend the application of a fourth dose of COVID vaccines for the population from 12 to 49 years of age, but on the basis of medical recommendation.
The minister pointed out that during these days, progress has been made in the vaccination against COVID-19. In this sense, he emphasized that there is a small p. It is necessary to visualize it from an epidemiological point of view and the prevention that we must all have. He has emphasized that the committee of experts has recommended that we should mainly continue with the application of the 4 booster dose.
También muy importante, vamos a presentar.
We also want to talk about the study that we have been conducting for the application of a 4th dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. The group of experts and the Vaccine Advisory Committee had a meeting. In that sense, it is important to say that the Committee of Experts has recommended to continue with the application of the 3rd dose and make an effort in all departments to cover the population that has already applied the 2nd booster dose and make special follow-up to this population for those people who were already vaccinated with this dose for comorbidities and special conditions.
Make a great effort from all the departments and at the national level to cover the population that have not been vaccinated with the 3rd dose and to maintain our line for those who are already receiving it.
An unfortunate accident in the district of the Hill of Morgan's Cave Road circulates in social networks. The accident apparently happened yesterday in the afternoon. Security cameras show the moment in which, in a golf cart type vehicle, visitors lose control of the descent of this hill and ends up overturned on the road. The images also show the effort of some people who were inside the vehicle and a motorcyclist who was at the site turned the golf cart over. However, as far as we can see, it was not possible. Despite the strong images of the video, the police authorities state that they have not received any call or record to the 123 line. Therefore, the institution discards any serious injury. And in other news, Colombia is getting ready to receive the country's new manager in the next month of August. In San Andres Island, expectations are high in different sectors. In this sense, great challenges await the president-elect Gustavo Petro in the archipelago, especially in matters of education, tourism, infrastructure, and environment.
The support for Gustavo Petro was absolute in the archipelago department. Likewise, the island have great challenges to be assumed by the representative of the historical PAC in different sectors, regarding which leaders and sectoral managers express their opinion. Among the main challenges of the new presidential administration in tourism issues is the construction of the Gustavo Rojas Pinilla Airport. According to Susan Saad, president of ANATO, this infrastructure is the first impression that visitors take with them.
First thing that we need, and the most important thing, and it's a very big thing too, as far as expenditure is concerned, is a new airport. We know that our airport is inadequate for the amount of tourists that we're receiving. Also, it's 50 years old. This year, it's 50 years. And so with the wind, with the salt, with everything that the airport withstands, we know it's time to have a new airport, a better airport. People complain about it, the facilities. You know, it's old. It's just old, and it's time to be replaced. So that was our main petition, and also the Ministry of Tourism, to have a ministry absolutely dedicated to tourism.
Susan Saad believes it is extremely necessary to create a space dedicated to the tourism, which is an important factor of the economic income of the country. Higher education is one of the fields to which the national administration is expected to make a big investment. Silvia Montoya spoke about it.
We need a university in the island. We know that everyone talk about it. This is the opportunity to get a building that maybe we can infiltrate, be the university that everyone is dreaming about. We also know that other universities from the country will maybe come to the island, and that is great because it's the opportunity that more youth can have more opportunity to study whatever they want, because not everybody can go out and study outside. Not everybody wants to study outside.
Luis Alberto Guerra, biologist in marine science and specialist in climate finance in wildlife conservation. Among the challenges for the president-elect, he highlighted the importance of energy transition.
It has to do with energy transition. It has to do with leaving the current model of fuel consumption to create new sources of energy. Energy based on the sun, the sea, the wind, and potentially our islands can create these with the characteristics that make the department more attractive for this new tourism that the new president wants to promote.
These are the main challenges in the area of higher education, tourism, infrastructure, and environment in the island. It is expected that soon the steps to be taken by the government of President Gustavo Petro for the parliament will be announced.
With the triumph of Gustavo Petro, Teleislas News consulted with political actors of the island regarding their analysis and perspectives of the proposals with which Petro arrives at the Casa del Niño.
Political reactions to Gustavo Petro's victory in the presidential elections are not long in coming. On the island, it is expected that the new president will comply with the proposals voted by the people at the polls.
We expect that the things that him come and manifest to the public and to the island in that intention to do, can comply with. But moreover than that, we wish that we as community, we as people from the racial community, we as people from these islands can get together, generate one vision of what we want for the island as people, and we can present that to him, for him as president can include it in development planning and can carry it through for we benefit.
This would be good for our archipelago because Dr. Gustavo Petro makes some concrete proportion for our community, especially for the racial community that he tells us that he will give representation in the diplomatic in the diplomatic body of this republic in the Caribbean. Also in Prama to get in contact with Nicaragua, that we can continue, the racial people and the people with tradition here can continue fishing in the same kilometer water that we lose from of the international court.
He said that he was going to recover all the good things that San Andres had in the past, such as the embassy where San Andres represent Colombia in the Caribbean, such as education for all the youths in Colombia. And he talked about the water, that we surround with water, and he thinking about give us a new alternative to get water for the island.
The expectations of the new President of the Republic for the actors in the department are high, and they hope that the new President will comply with the proposals made for the archipelago and thus improve the conditions of all islanders.
Likewise, in the municipality of Providence, Dean Hyman registered the electoral behavior and the echo that remains among the inhabitants of the island.
There are several opinions about the results of the electoral race this past weekend that left Gustavo Petro as president. In Old Providence, only 29% of the population eligible to vote went to the polls, with 96% voting for candidates and 3% in blank. Of the 1,271 voters, 522 were for Rodolfo Hernandez and 749 for Gustavo Petro. This is what the community had to say about the results.
A good person. I believe I got a good job in Colombia.
I'm happy. I'm so happy because Petro is there. We have the belief that I have that we poor people or we normal people should have the rights like everybody else. And we have a woman representing us that represents our race, black race. And for the change, we need them and we to do the change.
Well, I don't want to say much about this, but I feel like the person who win have the skills if you do something good for this country and hoping no fraud nobody.
Well, I got to say the people decide. And when the people them decide, we have to accept it, and I hope and trust in the Lord that he's going to do a good work.
All the time he used to say it might be a change. So, well, make we see now the result will come out. We can't say this or that. We have to just wait and see now what man or what might take place.
And in the early hours of Tuesday morning, at 61 years of age in the city of Bogota, the renowned businessman Jose Saba Castillo died due to health problems he had been facing. Saba Castillo, of Panamanian origin, settled in San Andres in the mid-60s, becoming a prominent businessman, owning several establishments and organizing various music shows, in addition to cultivating numerous friendships. According to relatives, his body will be transferred to the city of Cali, where he will be buried this Wednesday, June 22nd, at the Israelite Cemetery. And now we continue with sport news with Victor Salva.
Hello, here are the best sports of the island. Jeter Downs is the first Islanders to play the big leagues, putting his mark on baseball history with the Boston Red Sox.
A versatile player at shortstop and second base, the Islander joined the roster of 8 Colombian players who are active in the major leagues, joining compatriot Harold Ramirez, Gio Urshela, Jorge Alfaro, Oscar Mercado, Jose Quintana, and River San Martin. Downs, after playing for Miami, Florida, Edward Pace in 2017, was chosen between the Cincinnati Reds and the Los Angeles Rangers from California in a trade. In 2020, Jeter was included in a trade with Mookie Betts to the Boston Red Sox, who protected him and gave him a spot on the 40-man roster to play in the big leagues with the Worcester Red Sox. Today, in 2022, Jeter Downs is batting 180 with 6 doubles, a triple, 11 runs, 35 hits, and 21 RBIs in 53 games played. Jeter is the Colombian player with the high sign bonus in the draft. We spoke with his maternal grandmother, Estela Gordon, who told us.
I'm a Jeter Downs grandmother. I'm very proud this morning to be the grandmother of this great young boy. He's in the Major League now playing baseball. And I'm very proud to be his grandmother because he started from here, San Andres. I remember when he was small, him and his brother, I used to carry them every day to the stadium. And Pancho and Kyok was the trainer. So I hope that this Jeter make going to the major leagues will be an example to our young people, because I know that San Andres have a lot of talent in baseball and in other sports, and I hope that they follow the step of Jeter, not only Jeter, but other boys that play sport in different areas in the island, in the world, and in Colombia. So thank you very much for this opportunity, and I hope that Jeter will be successful in this sport and in this part area of his life, starting in the Major League. Thank you very much.
Jeter Downs was born in July 17 of 1998 with only 23 years old, with a height of 1.80 meters, weighing 88 kilograms, put the flag of the archipelago on high in Major League Baseball. Blessing for our compatriot who sets an example of discipline, patience, perseverance, and most of all, his trust in God to achieve success in the Major League Baseball.
And in another scenario, the Big Boys Dominoes Club will be representing the archipelago in the Bolivariano Dominoes tournament. The Bolivariano game of dominoes will be played in the city of Valledupar from June 24th. The island team will be represented by a group of 8 players who, according to O'Neill, are ready and prepared for a great representation of the Insular Department. Donovan O'Neill told us in more detail.
Once more, we are in front of a opportunity to go and represent our department in the Juegos Bolivarianos that will be held in the city of Valledupar through the 24th and 25th of this month. We are going to participate with 8 players where we received the invitation from the International Federation of Domino. We expect to have a good representation this time. We are prepared. We have been training for very few months to go and have a good representation for the island.
The island team will be represented by Ivan Britton, Don O'Neill, Javier Caverra, Tomas Fernandez, Gabriel Merlano, Javier Gutierrez, Dagoberto Diaz, and Ulis Livingston, who hope to put the colors of the island department on high in this tournament. San Andres and Providence sports are growing. This will be all in sports for tonight. We will see you on another broadcast. We continue with Lisa.
Thank you, Victor. With sport news, we reach to the end of the broadcast. We see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. with more of Teleislas news. Good night.